Good morning, my love muffins. This is Reverend Sue from All Paths to God, recording live from my living room. What an amazing week it was last week. It's hard to believe it's only been a week. Most of you know that Reverend Denise and I officiated over a wedding of a young couple out at Red Hawk Ranch last weekend. Friday, the rehearsal dinner, and Saturday, the wedding, both of which were outside. And if you know the forecast, you know it was supposed to rain, 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 but not with our powerful prayer community. The clouds dissipated and the sun came out prior to both events, and it was just beautiful. And of course, by now you know that last Sunday on Valentine's Day was our Ordination Extraordinaire event. Hope you were able to join us live or catch it later on Facebook. And a big congratulations to Reverend Donna and Reverend Jennifer and Reverend Sonny. What an accomplishment. And it was an amazing ceremony, despite the fact that there were limitations due to the virus. We might not have been able to have the number of guests that we wanted to, or even the number of people to participate as guest speakers or singers or entertainment, like typical graduations might have. But it was amazing. And a big thank you to Lois Kindle for writing an article and publishing it in Observer News. That's attached. It was a very special day. And big thank you to Reverend Denise for the amazing atmosphere of reverence that she created, and to the board for their contributions in the development of the whole event. There were banners and rose petals out on the floors, and even Alice had made red and black face masks and beautiful canvas bags for the new ministers to put their goods in. They got new identification cards and name tags. They got All Paths to God diplomas. We had prayer stoles made individually for each of them, creating a logo for each of their paths. It was very special. And in case you weren't able to catch it, here's a quick sample accompanied by their theme song that they had dedicated to that particular day in their journey.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to the present moment, here to a new beginning here. And I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. 'Cause here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
What an amazing event it was. And Sunday night when I got home from the event, I called Brenda out at the ranch just to check in on my bride and groom and see how they were doing. And I found out that the parents had the reception at their home, and father had worked 16-hour days forever to pay for the wedding and to save $1,500 because Thursday was his son's birthday, his straight-A student son's birthday, and he promised to get him a car. But an uninvited guest at the party stole the money. And when I talked to Brenda, she said she and the mother of the bride had spent the day on the phone crying and grieving the loss of this gift that they were going to give to their son. Well, I immediately SOS'd my peeps, and as usual, you rallied immediately and were extremely generous. And not only did we make the $1,500 that they lost, but we collected extra and we were able to issue a check for $2,300. And Brenda sent me a picture of when she gave Mom the check because she just dissolved into tears. She was so appreciative that strangers would invest such kindness and goodness in their welfare. It was a true all paths to God moment. So thank you, my friends, for that. What an amazing week. And then Tuesday was my birthday, and Reverend Denise had the wisdom to kidnap me and take me on a little retreat and celebration, R&R for a couple days. And she invited the new ministers to join us for lunch. So we were able to relive the joy of the event. And I so appreciated that time away. I realized that I would have just simply jumped right back into work after all these magnificent events. And I probably wouldn't even have celebrated my birthday. You know how everybody says, right? It's just another day. And I seriously doubt that I would have reveled in all the joy that we created with the wedding and the fundraiser and the ordination ceremony. And that, my friends, would have been a major spiritual practice error. Know the truth. I heard you. And the truth shall set us free. New Thought and religious science teach the truth of the spiritual nature of all things, a system of spiritual laws to govern our spiritual nature, and techniques for applying the spiritual laws to everyday life. Principle and practice. The purpose of the New Thought movement is to awaken our awareness to the presence and the power of God, and to develop our ability to make conscious contact with the presence, and to deliberately and strategically use the power. So the goal is to point out simply and clearly spiritual facts and laws which underlie creation, cause and effect, so we can use them in our everyday life. God can work for us only through us. And the through us must be voluntary. If we want to experience greater good in our lives, we must become greater. Consciousness creates and thoughts are things. So unless the mold, the vessel, consciousness is increased, substance is not increased. So grace and good in our lives, which has always been available and present, await our recognition and our celebration. Celebration, basking in the good. That's what those days on our retreat were all about. Just basking in the joy and the glory of the rehearsal dinner and the wedding working out so well, in the sunny skies, and in the fundraiser that changed what could have been a devastating experience and an extremely negative memory associated with this young woman and man's wedding. Celebrating the amazing accomplishment of our new lay ministers and the beauty and joy and love of the ceremony, and celebrating my birthday. Basking is about taking the time to notice and to commemorate good. And if we persistently celebrate the good instead of dwelling on the bad, good and more good must appear in our lives. That's the law. So basking in goodness serves us, and failing to do so robs us. Basking and robbings. I couldn't resist. Basking and robbings. Either basking in the good or being robbed of the good. Basking and robbings. That's why I said, if I had not gone away and dedicated time to cherishing the good I just experienced, and I instead just jumped right back into work mode, it would have been a major spiritual practice error. It would have been a missed opportunity to apply spiritual law to amplify and multiply and grow good. There will always be big celebrations. The type of celebrations that more easily captivate our positive attention, like marriages and graduations and ordinations and birthdays. And of course, it will always be much easier to bask and celebrate the goodness when we take time out from our life schedule and we're sequestered away in a more joyous environment to begin with. But really, it's the mini celebrations of the moments of our lives that can best expand our grace and good mold, our consciousness of grace and good. And yes, we do face numerous real life, real world challenges that command our attention. But here's the question: do we give the same attention to to the good things in life? Do the good things in life equally, if not more, command our attention? I shared the story many years ago when I was first having the aha about this practice. And my sister had given me 3 $100 gift certificates for Christmas gift. The first one she gave to me and said, I'm giving you this one because I know you're going to spend it on someone else anyway. She said, I'm giving you the second one because even though I tell you to spend it on yourself, I know you're going to spend it on someone else anyway. But this third one, I want you to spend on yourself. And sure enough, I did exactly that. Spent the first one on somebody, spent the second one on someone, but the third one, I did talk myself into getting some things for myself. Well, shortly after that, I discovered I had made a mathematical error in my checkbook, and I bounced a check for $7, which immediately had the $35 charge. And, well, it was a couple $100, and I didn't have it. And I went through this devastating, emotional, mental torment about how stupid could you be, and I don't have anything that I can use to produce money. I don't even have anything I can sell. How am I going to get the money? And I was in tears. It just so happened when my sister called. And I was so upset I couldn't even speak to her. And she was like, oh my God, get yourself together and then call me back. And every time I called back, I was in tears. And she's like, oh my God, is my mother dead? Is my father dead? But I was just dissolved over this for days and days. Well, once she found out what happened, she was like, oh, for God's sakes, you had me scared to death. And she wrote a check for the money. And wow, what a burden of shame and guilt. And after all that, not a week later, my college roommate, who I haven't seen forever, spontaneously sent me a $500 check. And I remember opening the envelope and looking at it and going, oh my God, isn't that so nice? And putting it back down on the counter and going, sitting down and starting to work. And I went, oh my God, I get it. I just spent so many days and hours and so much emotional energy churning over the negative thing. But when something extremely positive happened, barely spent a minute. Not that I wasn't pleased. We're just not trained to bask in the good, to celebrate the good. Every day, basking. Very first step is just to notice. Notice what is working in life. Where is good energy flowing? Notice, and we'll find something or someone to celebrate. Notice what lifts our feelings, what we've been given and received, what check surprisingly comes in the mail. Notice what we're able to contribute. Notice our little accomplishments and successes. Notice what difficult moments we handle. Recognize our triumphs over our trials that have translated into and permitted growth. Notice our abilities and our determination and our effort and our uniqueness. Notice our loved ones and our liked ones. And notice meaningful connections. Notice, then celebrate and bask. That's what it's about, celebrating. Celebrate. It does a spirit good. Notice, celebrate, and then bask in it, milk it. We don't need ceremonies and events and decorations and fanfare to celebrate. They're delightful, but we don't need them. We don't even need other people to celebrate. We can celebrate alone or with other people. We can celebrate in big ways or small ways. We can celebrate in silly ways or sincere ways. But we do need to take action. We not only notice good and think and say we appreciate it, but we act on it. We animate it in some way. And we make a toast. We say a prayer of gratitude. We light a candle. We take a bite. I had a friend once who helped me in a financial situation, and I remember saying to her how much I liked helping people and how devastated I would be if I had the means to help someone and they didn't accept it because of their pride or they felt guilty, but that I was having a very hard time graciously accepting this. And she looked at me and said, "Oh, for God's sake, Suze, you should just be doing the Skippy dance." Now, I don't know exactly what a Skippy dance is, but I think it's a worthy journey to spend my lifetime perfecting one. Doing the Skippy dance, we have to animate our celebration. We can't just acknowledge it in our brain. Notice, celebrate, and bask. So we have to make sure it's a genuine celebration. It can't just be cerebral. Our feelings must agree, must concur. We have to celebrate in such a personal way that we generate genuine good feelings, feelings of blessings and delight. I know last week I told you the story about the angels that I gave to neighbors at Christmas and told them to put it outside and it would absorb the solar energy and then glow different colors at night, and to let it represent that neighbors and angels were watching over them, and just to plant it in the ground and let it shine its light of love on them. And I was talking about how we do things like that to change our consciousness. What I neglected to talk about was the thing that I most love about it, the thing that does move me, which is this little stem of it lights up purple at night. And when I drive in my road at night, as soon as I turn the corner, I can see purple, 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 purple for the people I gave them to. And it just immediately makes me smile. It immediately lights up my heart and feels like goodness, feels like delight. That's what they mean by making our celebration and our basking of good have genuine feelings that are associated with it. So, my friends, your mission, if you so choose to accept it, is to notice, then bask and celebrate. Don't miss an opportunity and be robbed of our potential to use spiritual law to grow good in our lives. Baskings and robbings. Baskings expands the mold that grows good. If we neglect doing that, then we are robbed of our potential. Celebrate. That's your mission. Celebrate what? Celebrate everyday life. Celebrate everyday truth. If we persistently celebrate the good instead of dwell on the bad, good and more good must appear. That's the law. Celebrate, my friends. We can't go back and make a new start, but we can start now and make a new ending. We are the people. Now is the time, and this is the way. Namaste, my friends.